The psychological aspect of trading plays one of the most important roles for a trader's success. It is also an area that is often overlooked by the large majority, as most traders spend a lot of their time learning the price action, strategies, and anything that has to do with technical analysis, failing to understand what allows you to effectively execute the strategies, or anything you learn from a price action standpoint is your psychology, your mental state. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we're gonna be diving into the world of psychology in today's video. We're gonna be going over the psychology of a winning trader, what it takes to win. We're gonna be going over some psychological traits that create what I call the separating factor between those who end up being profitable and the ones who spend more time struggling. And I'm also gonna be sharing some tips that will allow you to develop these traits. Let's waste no time. Let's jump right into it. Before we jump right into the video, I wanted to make an announcement and let you guys know that the LiveFree Effects community is going to be opening up in the next couple of weeks. I know a lot of you guys have been sending emails and DMs asking, hey, Manuel, when is the community going to open back up? And I finally got to it. Took some time, but yes, I want to let you know that it will be opening up in the next couple of weeks. If you want to be notified when the community is up and running, head over to livefreeeffects.com and sign up to be notified. Let's waste no time. Now we can jump right into the video. I've been trading the markets for the last 9 years, and during this period, I have worked with 2 trader psychologists. The first 2 years of my trading journey, I understood the importance of trading psychology, but I never really focused on it until later on. But once I started to focus on it and work with my trader psychologist, I realized that if I am going to get to the small percentage of traders that win, I would have to develop what I call the psychology of a winning trader. First on our list is emotional discipline. One of the key traits that set apart profitable traders from the rest is their ability to control their emotions, especially in the heat of the moment. They don't let fear, greed, control your decision-making process or even affect your decision-making process. As a trader, when you come to the market, you're going to be dealing with a lot of uncertainty because that's really what trading is, right? We can't predict or, where price is going to go. We can't control a lot in the trading game outside of ourselves and our plan. So one of the ways that I found during this process of developing emotional discipline for myself is to create a trade plan and stick to it. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're coming into the market and you don't have a plan, you don't have clear rules of engagement, right? You are going to be at the mercy of the market. And it is also very difficult to hold yourself accountable to anything, because if you don't have rules, you're essentially coming into the market trying different things, doing different things daily. And in order for you to succeed, you need to have a plan. You need to have a trade plan that is going to act as a roadmap for you. And it's going to allow you to go through the winning streak and also the losing streak as well without you, deviating from that plan. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend that you create a trade plan and you stick to it. Your trade plan can cover your risk management, risk tolerance, and your goals, in the trading game, and also clear rules of engagement from your entry strategy to your exit strategy to the pairs that you're trading to the time that you're trading, and so on and so forth. But make it as detailed as possible and stick to it. And over a period of time of doing this, you will start to notice that there is a significant difference between coming into the market with no plan and coming into the market with a plan. The next on our list is patience and long-term vision. In the world of trading, patience is truly a virtue, and successful traders understand that it is not about making quick profits, but more so maintaining a long-term vision. It is not about chasing short-term gains, but waiting for the right opportunity. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are going to win in this trading game, you have to be patient. Anyone who tells you otherwise is essentially lying to you. right? A lot of people come into the market and you think that you're clicking buttons left, right, and center, buying trades, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. Yes, you might be doing that, a little bit of that if you're a scalper, but at the end of the day, you are still waiting for high probability setups, right? You're still waiting for the right opportunities to strike. If you're constantly putting your capital at risk without the opportunity being there, you're gonna be losing money left, right, and center. So patience is critical. Patience is necessary. It is a requirement. Otherwise, you're going to be donating your money to your broker. In order to develop this trade, one of the things that helped me was focusing on the long-term vision, not focusing day by day, not focusing trade by trade, understanding that trading is a marathon, not a sprint. It is not about whether you are making thousands of dollars today or maybe even losing thousands of dollars today, but understanding that over a long period of time, right, you can actually do it. You can figure it out. You can make it work. So you can win in the end. So successful traders understand that if they sit and they wait for the right opportunity, eventually it will come and they will be profitable. I personally don't trade every single day because of this mindset. And what this will do as well is it will stop a lot of the impulsive decisions that you make when you are trading, right? Because a lot of traders fall into the psychological pitfalls of over leveraging, revenge trading, and so forth. But when you are thinking long term, you're okay to lose money today and not go right back into the market trying to make that money back. You're comfortable sitting back, relaxing, waiting for the right opportunity so you can strike again. So ladies and gentlemen, this is one trade that I highly recommend, and any trader that you look up to, whether they are on YouTube, whether, like they're on Instagram, whatever the case might be, that are really doing it, I guarantee you that they have this trait. The third one that we're going to be taking a look at today is perhaps the most important one, and it is one that changed the way that I approach the trading game forever, and that is emotional regulation. Ladies and gentlemen, I talked about emotional discipline, right? I talked about patience, long-term vision. These are all traits that successful traders have, profitable traders have. It is the separating factor, no doubt about that. But emotional regulation is your ability to regulate yourself in the heat of the moment. Being disciplined is one thing, right? Sticking to your plan is one thing, but knowing what to do when things are not going in your favor, when you are losing money, you're down, a couple $100, you're down a couple thousands. That is the separating factor between traders who make it long term and the ones who get washed out in the game. If you don't know how to regulate yourself, you could have a couple of winning streak and you will finally wash it down the drain, in a short period of time. So emotional regulation is simply your ability to regulate yourself in the heat of the moment. But before we dive into the nitty-gritty of how to regulate yourself, the very first thing I want you to understand for this process to work is how your brain sees the money and how your brain processes trading. The very first thing to understand is that we have something called our amygdala. Our amygdala is part of our limbic system, and it is in charge of processing fearful events or fearful situations, right? So let's say you're walking down the street and someone is running at you with a knife or something equally dangerous or more dangerous. What is going to happen is your brain will process, probably take a couple of minutes, a couple of seconds, right? Process that situation, and you will go into what we call a fight or flight mode. And in trading, it's no different. When you have your capital at risk, and you are now, let's say, down a couple $100, right, on the trade, your amygdala is also looking at that situation as a threat to your survival. So a lot of the time when you are trading, you will notice that your heart rate starts to increase. Your heart rate is increasing as you're watching the market, not go in your favor, or maybe you're uncomfortable, maybe you're waiting for a trade setup, maybe you're feeling anxious, but generally usually happens a lot of the time when you are in a losing situation. So when you're losing, things aren't going your way, right? Your heart rate starts to increase. Your amygdala is processing this loss that you're about to take as a threat to your survival. So it goes into the fight or flight mode. Emotional regulation is a skill that needs to be developed in order for you to develop the psychology of a winning trader. And how can you develop this skill? Ladies and gentlemen, how you develop this skill is understanding, one, your amygdala, right? What it's doing, right? During as you're trading, it is processing fear. You have to keep your amygdala in check. So a lot of the time when I trade with a biofeedback device, a heart rate monitor, because it gives me information on my heart rate, which is, the biggest signaling factor, before my amygdala gets hijacked. And a lot of the time, I might not be in a losing situation. I might just come into the trading day and maybe my emotional state is not good. Maybe from a psychological standpoint, I am not on, that day. I'm not feeling it that day. Or maybe I'm anxious about the trade setup that is coming my way. It doesn't take much for your for your amygdala to get hijacked. But in order for you to stop it from getting hijacked, one, I recommend using a biofeedback device like a heart rate monitor. Be mindful, if you're wearing an Apple Watch, that might be good enough. I prefer something, that is actually more accurate. My heart rate monitor gives me, feedback as to, where my current heart rate is. And I know that if it gets too high, there is a strong possibility that I will, go into a point where I may not stick to my plan. I may start to risk more, and I may just, do things that is not conducive to where I want to be. So what I do is I focus on my breathing to slow my heart rate. And these are some of the steps that I go through in order to make sure that I regulate my overall emotional state. And this is also something that I got from my trader psychologist. Shout out to Randy. Ladies and gentlemen, in order for you to get to where you want to get to in the trading game, you have to understand that this is a craft, right? There are a lot of things out there. There are a lot of people out there who are going to tell you can make a lot of money quick. You got the, influencers, on social media, on YouTube as well, on Instagram, selling you the lifestyle. But here at LiveFree FX, I am not here to, essentially sell anyone bullshit. I am here to tell you what it's really going to take for you to win. And if you want to develop the psychology of a winning trader, these are just some of the things that you will have to develop. And that's the video, ladies and gentlemen. I want to thank you for watching once again. If you want to learn more about, trading psychology, we have a psychology playlist on the channel. And I also did an interview with my trader psychologist on the channel as well. You can find that down below or in the psychology playlist. Thank you guys for watching. I'm cheering for you, and I hope you're out there living free. Cheers.